Welcome to another episode of Divinely Inspired. I'm your host, Inspire, here to inspire you guys back to unconditional love through inspired conversations and thoughts. So, I'm going to do this as a continuation of yesterday's, where I was talking about magic. So, one thing about magic is a couple of rules. There are rules, as with anything, to make sure everybody stays safe. You don't ever wish magic on anybody that they're unaware. You don't want to do that. So what that may look like is getting a card reading on somebody else, or reading cards. Like if you have your own personal cards, reading them in a way that is trying to get insight on someone else's life. That's not okay, because it ain't none of your business. If you want to know, go ask. Okay. Also, be aware of the words people use around you, because sometimes that can be also magic, because words are spells. When we speak, we are doing spells. So that's why you need to be very mindful of what you're saying out of your mouth. That's why engaging in like gossip and all that stuff can get you into a lot of trouble, because when you start doing magic and you get caught up in gossip, you can actually have things attached, like the negativity and all that stuff can attach to your aura, and it will stay until you cleanse it, or until you might not even know it's there. It can look like extreme fatigue. It can look like irritability. It can look like not being able to think straight, thoughts all over the place. It can look like a number of different things, which is what you need to figure out what works for you. Now, excuse me, a lot of people do what's called private. I can't remember. I think it's private magic. I don't know the terms, y'all. I'm gonna tell you. I just do what I do. People like to put labels on stuff, but you don't gotta put a label on everything. People like to name stuff, like to do all this. Like I don't do any of that. What it is about, it's about connecting with you, your higher self, your spirits, and your angels. I don't know what that little hand is doing. Y'all see my hand? Um, and when you're harnessing that kind of power, like that kind of energy, I highly recommend that you really do take your time to get to know what your style of practice is. Some people, like I said, do it in private. Some people like to practice openly. I am whatever I feel like in the moment. Um, that's what it is. Thank you, Spirit. So I was thinking about like when I started practicing magic for the first time, or like practicing, um, I don't know, I call it magic. When I started practicing magic for the first time, I had a lot of people tell me what I shouldn't do, how to do it, what to do it, when to do it, how, like, for example, I was told you're not supposed to put your stones out under a full moon. Don't listen to people, y'all. The whole point of this journey is to feel your own energy, is to understand what works for you, because what works for you may not work for somebody else. And so when I see people talking about like, oh, you shouldn't do that, don't ever let anybody tell you what you shouldn't do. Number one. Number two, you should only do what you want to do. Okay, do you. If it does not line up with someone else, it's not meant for them, it's meant for you. So you can practice in private, you can practice openly, you can practice however you want. You can do it however you want to do it. If the energy resonates with you in that way, then you do it. But when you are doing magic, just remember the rules. Like, you don't want to hurt anybody, do no harm to anybody. You don't want to read cards on anybody. You don't want to get readings on anybody else that's not yourself. And if you're going to send out energy, like just a general energy, for me personally, you can figure out what works for you. I always say allow them to receive what they're open to receive, versus just I'm going to send it out to this person, because what if they don't want it? What if they don't believe in magic? What if they don't, and you don't want to have that hanging over you, because you're just sending, magic and stuff people away. And they're like, I didn't want that. I've had that happen where it wasn't to me, but I've seen it happen to, like, with someone else. And they were like, well, I didn't ask you to pray for me. And I'm like, they didn't ask you to pray for them. You probably shouldn't have did. Like, so when you're sending it out, you just send it out and allow them to receive it if they decide to or not. That way it doesn't catch you up into the net of, oh my goodness, I'm doing something, and it's not like, you're going to go it's gonna like be the worst thing ever. It's just you don't want somebody to do it to you, don't do it to them. Like that rings true in everything that you do. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to somebody else. If you don't want somebody doing spells and stuff on you, don't do it to nobody else. That's how it goes. And in order to even be able to do spells, you gotta be alone. Like you gotta be by yourself. You gotta have that time. Like, so understanding the way you work with magic, understanding your energy, that is the most important. Eating properly, guys, I had to change my diet. I am eating a kale and an iceberg lettuce salad with like avocados and all that because I noticed that when I'm doing my magic, I feel a little more drained because number one, I'm not asking for protection when I'm going into my magic spells. And number two, I'm not eating properly because if your energy levels aren't in a place where you can even like do a spell or do anything of that nature, like harness your energy in any way, because at some point we're going to start becoming like air and water benders around this piece. It's something that I've kind of been practicing. Okay, so I've been able to move paper with my energy, but I would like to go a little bit bigger and I want to practice with paper a little bit more. And my cousin called me one day because our family isn't big on like magic. So my cousin called me one day and was asking me about it, and I'm just coaching them through like, make sure you're grounded, all of this, because it's a lot of fun to do, especially once you do it for the first time. It's like it's like mind blowing. So don't let anybody tell you what you know, okay? Because people will tell you that this stuff is crazy and all of this. Yo, I did it. I've pushed paper with my energy before. And no, it wasn't like I was fanning or anything. I was literally holding my hand still and channeling the energy, and it moved the paper, and I was actually quite happy about that. So can't nobody tell me what I know because I've done it. Anything that people are telling you, research it for yourself and pull out what works for you. Don't take everything that people say at face value, not even what I say at face value, because the way I practice may not be the way you practice. So please, by all means, always pay attention and always research, always study for your modality of healing, okay? Because magic is nothing but healing. People may think that it's like supernatural and all of like it is supernatural, but you know what I mean, like all the stuffs, but it is honestly just a healing modality. You have to be healed emotionally, mentally, physically. Like you got to be on that in that mentality, in that field of healing, in order for you to even do anything. So when people talk about like magic, oh you're doing this, oh you're into that, yes I am. But if you haven't noticed that I feel, for me personally, that I'm more balanced than I ever have been in my life. So taking this journey helped me to see, things for what they really are, people for who they really are. And it's easier for me to stay calm in difficult situations because I took the time to understand what it means for me to stay calm, what it means for me to mind my words because my words matter. Okay. If I can't say it to your face, I'm not saying it. That's how it works. That's how I roll because I wouldn't want somebody to do it to me. It's the same thing. So doing magic is it's a very careful process. It is very fun once you get into it. Um, I gotta say, when I do some of my spells and stuff, and like stuff starts to happen, it's just kind of like that kind of thing. Like I get all excited and like ridiculous. The July 20th meetup that I have planned is still on for those who are interested. I want you to bring your cards, bring your journal, whatever it is that you want to work on, any questions that you may have for me, anything like that. It's just going to be a space to kind of like start to understand the way that you practice your healing for yourself. Um, I don't want anybody to feel like, they have to know this or they have to, there's nothing that you have to do but bring yourself. That's it. Bring yourself, your cards, whatever it is that you want. If you have any questions, we're all here to learn. Don't think I know everything because sometimes y'all be saying some stuff and I'll be like, oh, I never thought of that like that. Okay. No one is above learning. Just as much as we are all students, we are all teachers as well. So bring your philosophies, bring the way you feel about things, bring the way you see the world, all of that. And let's all come together and like do this. What I say, let's all get our shit together, y'all. I know I need to right now, but I got to get back to work and I'm going to finish eating my stuff. I just want to come on and talk a little bit more about magic and what it means to be magical, because being magical is it's here and it's here, but they work together in tandem. So understanding, spending time alone, like really being in tune with nature is gonna benefit. Um, Spirit, is there anything else that you want to share with everybody? Okay. All right. So they said I'm good for now. I'm good for now. So I will talk to you guys later because I love you guys. Oh, and one thing you'll learn about me, I haven't done it yet, but it will happen because it has been happening more often than not, is I do speak in angelic language. So you might hear me, they call it speak in tongues. I don't know why but it's basically just another angelic language that I have learned that I know. And that was a very interesting find out through a friend of mine. So it comes out every now and again. It hasn't come out yet on these lives, but when it does, I just don't want it to catch anybody off guard. And they're like, "What is she doing?" But no, I do speak angelic languages, ancestral languages, different types of like languages that have like disappeared off the earth. So that's always a fun thing when I'm talking to somebody and it just comes out. It's always fun. Um, like I said, I will holler at y'all. Y'all don't let nobody tell you what to do. Oh, and don't forget, if you have questions, comments, anything like that, leave drop it at the top in the feature section and or in the comment section in the boxes. If you have anything that you want me to talk about, if you have anything that you have questions about, even if it's about magic or anything, let me know and I will do a video on that. So with that, guys, you enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy like being yourself, and remember, can't nobody tell you what to do unless you let them. So don't let them tell you what to do, boo. Get out there, be great, and tell everybody to suck a whole egg if you need to. Okay? Because we is not about that life. Deuces, y'all.